What's up, my dudes? How's it going? Today, dakblake here, and today I have a new video. And today, I wanted to talk about something that every guy might have experienced, all the struggle that goes on. And so, let me just give you a little story. Now, I've done this before. Now, in college, it's like I feel like I have a bunch of mini crushes and stuff, and, things that happen. But, every guy's struggle is the fact that we try to just get the girl and look our best and do all this stuff, but it ends up just not working out. And so this happened to me recently, and you guys know all about Tavia. And if you don't and you're new to this channel, just check out a thing called What Happened with That Girl, or a story I made way back called Friend Zoned. And yeah, go check that out and you'll kind of understand who Tavia is. But what happened was, after I made that video called What Happened with That Girl, I don't know why, but I keep putting myself in a like depressed state because of my own doing. So I made that video with talking about Tavia and what happened, and then I was like, I'm gonna message her. And so I went and I messaged her, and she was like, hey, what blah 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 blah. And I was like, we should make skits sometime, because I really wanted to make skits, and she's like an actor. And so I was like, we should make a skit sometime. She's like, oh yeah, totally. And I was like, do you want to meet up and talk about stuff? I mean, we could do that and just bounce ideas off of each other. And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, we can go to just I don't know, a boba place over there and just talk about all the skits we could think of. And she's like, okay, sure. And so we ended up making these plans to go to a boba place and talk about stuff. And so I was like, okay, here we go. And so on that day, I don't know why, I tried to look the best I could. I got nice pants on, I got a nice shirt button up, I got a little bit of spray, trying to look all nice. And I ended up going to this boba place, and she got out of her car, but her mom dropped her off, and I got out of my car. I drove myself. I'm a big boy. And so she doesn't have her license yet, but she has her permit kind of thing. She's getting it. And so she gets out and she's like, hey, Dakota. And you expect people to start hugging right after they haven't seen each other in a while. And so I was like, hey, let's go inside. And I don't know why, but I was so nervous. And she was like, oh, okay. And so we go and we sit down. She gets boba, I get a boba, and we sit down and we start talking. And I was all business. I was like, okay, so I had this good idea to do this, and I had this other idea with this character. And she was like, oh, nice. And I was like, so what is your idea? And she's like, I don't know, I thought we would just make something. I was like, okay, let's make something. She's like, I can't really think of anything. And I was like, well, life always comes from your own personal story. She's like, I don't know if I have any stories. I'm like, here, let me tell you a story. And I just started telling her some of my life stories, and she was really intrigued by it. And so we ended up going through another 2 hours just hanging out and talking, and I thought we had a really good time. And so it was, and it felt really cool. And so we ended up making plans to go and actually film. And so I told my friend Christian, I was like, hey, we're gonna film that skit thing and blah blah blah. And so he's like, oh yeah, we can film it my house. So we ended up doing it. And again, I got super prepared to, do this. And this skit is basically where I'm her boyfriend and she's my girlfriend. But I'm a cheater kind of thing. And so we ended up going to film this. And I'm like, hey, what's up, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, it just kind of got awkward. We had to film these things. And she was telling me little hints oh, no, do this. Don't act like that. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, goodness. And so it was kind of getting annoying because she was trying to correct my acting and doing stuff, and I was like, okay. But through the entire day, we spent 2 or 3 hours filming this whole thing, and I just didn't feel like it was fun. And she kind of had this attitude about her, like she was better than everything kind of thing. I don't know. And I got all ready and nice, just expecting to have a good day, and it wasn't. And so at the end of the day, of filming, we were like, okay, I think it's good, guys. I think we have a wrap. And I was kind of thinking to myself, no, I don't want it to be over yet. And so I was standing there, and I was packing up my stuff, and I was like, so what are you doing now? She's like, I don't know. And I kind of just wanted to say hey, you want to go hang out? But I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, nothing. I'm probably just gonna go home and do some cleaning and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, I have to do some cleaning too. Yeah. And so she was like, hey, Christian, can you give me a ride home? And then I was like, see you guys. And I ended up walking off, and I sat in my car, and I was like, I just started just getting angry. I was like, I felt like the day was just not fun, not what I expected. I was not what I was looking forward to. And so I went home and I started looking at the footage, and my acting was like so bad because like I was so awkward acting like I was her boyfriend kind of thing, and I was like, ugh. And I felt like so depressed, like goodness. And so it turns out like that was like a week before school started, and I was messaging her like, hey, we should hang out again and talk about some more skit ideas. And she's like, I don't know, I'm gonna be busy a lot, with school coming up soon, and I have to do a bunch of things. And I was like, oh, I mean, okay. I mean, you don't have any time to film ever? And she goes, I don't know, not until a while from now. And I'm like, great. And so she said that she was going to be busy doing like, stuff and school and all that stuff. And what happened was me, Christian, and my friend Everett. You guys know Everett. Me, Christian, and Everett. And Everett is a really awkward guy. And we went to the mall. And this was kind of like a day after she said she was going to be busy with stuff. And so I was walking and I was talking to Christian. I was like, you know what? I don't want to like Tavia. And I was telling Everett, like, I don't want to like her. And I feel like it sucks because I've liked her for so long. And if you guys who know the story, it's like, it sucks because I don't want to like her anymore. Like, I don't. And so what happened was we were walking and we walk into the mall. And of all people, Tavia is sitting there with her boyfriend. And I didn't know whether or not she had a boyfriend at the time, but just seeing this, it was kind of like, it confirmed it. And I looked at it, and I looked at them, and they were hanging out kind of thing next to each other, and I was like, oh gosh. And the worst thing was, Everett is he doesn't have a filter. That's his problem. He doesn't know when to not say things. So we walk past Tavia and her boyfriend, and Everett goes out loud and goes, speaking of the devil. And I'm like, why would you say that? That makes her think that we're talking about her, kind of thing. And then, so Christian, being the talkative guy he's like, hey, Tavia, what's up? And kind of like goes in front to like kind of like divert the attention. And at normal volume, Everett goes, I am so sorry, Dakota. I am so sorry. And I'm like, Everett, shut up. And so he's like, I don't know why I'm sorry that you had to see. I'm like, dude, stop. Like, you're making it look like I was talking about her, and this is the first time me seeing her boyfriend, kind of thing. It kind of was first time seeing. And so I was kind of just like, great. And I didn't even know that she had a boyfriend. And so she went to this boba thing, and I thought we hit it off a good time. But she's had a boyfriend for a while now. And I thought, maybe I was inching towards something happening ever, and it'll just never happen. And so after that happened, not only did I see her there, but we went and we sat out kind of like after we went to the mall, me, Christian, and Everett, and I was like, man, I do not want to like her. And so she walked by with her boyfriend again, really awkward. She's like, bye. And I was like, bye. And so it's weird, But I ended up talking to Christian, and this is kind of like a life tip. If you ever want to get over somebody, you have to think of their faults. And so I was asking Christian, like, how do I get over it? And he's like, I don't know, just find somebody else. But then I ended up thinking, like, tell me all the bad things that you think about her, because I don't see any bad things. And so he started telling me all these bad things, like, well, she does this, and she's this way about this, and this way about this. And it kind of like broke the glass for me. And I feel like for the first time ever, I don't really completely like her anymore. And it's like, I don't know if I'm completely done, but I mean, that's a life tip for anybody. If you've ever liked somebody, just get a friend to tell you all of the things that they don't like about her, like to break the ice and like the glass that's in front of you. But I hope you enjoyed this little mini story. I hope that you get a little bit out of it, and maybe you've had maybe you had a similar experience of your struggle where you tried to do your best and dress up nice and look the nicest that you can, but it turns out it was all for nothing in the end. But yeah, tell a story that you have down below, and yeah, if you like these videos, just check out another one tomorrow, and if you've missed any, just check out a couple of days, in the past of my videos. So, if you liked the video, please slap a like on there, and if you're new, please subscribe, and as always, peace out, my dudes.